Today we're going to learn about another type of container. This container is called Contain Anything. It allows you to put anything in the box and move it out of the way. This is also sometimes called stickies. This particular kind of container is nice because you can put information on a particular pull-down tab, write on it, and then send it back up, and it will stick and stay. So for example, here, if I were to pull this tab down and I wanted to write dog, I can write the word dog and drag up my sticky note and it will stay there. Stickies, or Contain Anything containers, are really nice. They allow you to put pictures in pull tabs, they allow you to put tools, and they also allow you to do online links or things. For example, on the next page. Sometimes I don't want to clutter up my page with lots of different things. So what I can do is I can have pull tabs where I can pull down information and drag them off on the page as needed. I can also, this one has a link to a particular website. So I can go out to that website and look at a video or different information. This sticky note over here has a bunch of tools on it. So if I didn't want my main toolbar there, I could roll that up and use these main tools as part of my presentation. I could drag these out on the page so that they are not stuck on there, and then use them as needed. Over here I have another example of stickies. Let me grab my select tool. I have another example of stickies with pictures on it. So here is a bunch of insect pictures that I can drag out on the page as necessary. I could drag one out on the page at a time as we're talking about it, and then I can put it back on the container when I'm done, even if I resize it. And it will contain it and put it on there. Also down here, I could just have a bunch of pictures stacked on top of each other on my sticky, so that I can pull those out at any time, talk about each of the events and things that took place in Mount St. Helens. This could be a great example of maybe a timeline or something where I have my students put these in order, but I didn't want them to see the pictures ahead of time. So that's how that could be used. As soon as I'm done, I can drag it off to the side. One thing to remember about containers that contain anything, or any containers in particular, is you need to make sure that you have your objects full all the way on your container. For example, right now I have this one off, and it will not drag that particular picture with it unless it is all the way contained. Back to my next page. For example, on this one, if I were to do some notes and I'm talking with my students and I start to write off the side of the page, soon as I go to drag that up, that one annotation stays because it did not stay on the sticky, and it was not contained within that container. So it stays on the page. So, how to create an actual sticky or a Contain Anything. I'm going to my Shapes tool, and this could be anything. It doesn't just have to be a shape. I can also go down here and I could grab a arrow, rotate my arrow here, and I can group that together. Once I group that together, it will now allow me to drag this down if I need to. But before I do anything, what I'm going to do is make sure my whole container is selected. I'm going to go to the property browser and make sure I scroll all the way down to containers. Just trying to shut some of these. And the only thing I have to do here is set it as contain anything. Everything else can stay the same, and that is set up as a container. So now I can go and do some writing on here. I could go pull some pictures out from my resource library. Drag those out on the page. Now I have to make sure I resize it so that it's smaller or as big as the container. And anything that I want to drag out, it will stick to that. So that at any given time during my lesson I could drag it onto the page, make it larger, or use it in my lesson. And that is a very easy way to create a sticky or a container that contains anything.